Welcome, everyone, to the Built Today podcast with Melinda Stewart and yours truly, Jamie Fuller. Today, we're going to talk about all the things you're doing wrong. Yeah, that's what we said. All the things you're doing wrong. And we're going to try to look at the things that we see people do or try to do too much of to start with, whether it's soft tissue work or just overwork in the gym or just trying to do a little bit extra when they're not necessarily ready for it. So I'll kind of start there, and I'll kind of bring it over to you because I want to see what you see on those new clients that just started a new program or a new venture or a new year reset or just a reset in general. And what are those things that you see when they contact you and they come into your practice?
Oh, yeah. It's easy. Everybody, they hit the ground running. They have to be like all or nothing. So they're diving in and they think they're 20 years old again. You know, most of these people are probably in their, 40s and 50s. They think they're 20 and they can just start like they have never missed a beat. And so they're breaking down their muscles. They're not recovering and they're not doing what they need to do to stay healthy or move well or be safe. And so they're going to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week or, just lifting too heavy, I used to do 135 and not starting off easy and just taking care of their body. So then they break down their muscles. And then they're calling me and they're wanting help because they think that I can fix stupidity. And
be careful, you're going to trigger somebody. No, I'm just kidding.
But honestly, if they would just ease into things and like take care of the body that they're trying to move, then they wouldn't be coming in so hurt. And there are times that they're so sore and so beat up that the work that I do can't help them, right? Because it ends up they're too touchy or they're too sore or they can't literally move their arm, because they've done too much in bench press, whatever it is, right? So that's what I see. It's the all or nothing mentality with people.
Yeah, which leads right into the kind of title that we decided to go with today of all the things that you're doing wrong. And it's not that they're doing everything wrong. It's that they're usually, if they haven't been doing something for a while, they're trying to do everything right now because, as we talked about in another podcast, is, a lot of times in our lives, the more you do, you get this feedback response or you get this positive response back. But when you're talking about the human body, the more you do, you better be making sure that you're taking care of all the other things.
Absolutely.
Right? Before you start progressing too quickly.
Right. You have to build a foundation. Right.
And then we'll lead that into what that foundation looks like. Like on my side, as a strength coach, fitness professional, gym owner, would be your typical person coming in. You do a consultation with them, and during that consultation, our consultations are usually after the fact, right? It's after January, February, getting into March, where people have tried to do this stuff on their own. They try to follow an influencer. They try to go to a boot camp place or another fitness place where it's all about intensity, all about burning calories and things like that. And they initially see some results, but then they get hard plateaus, right? Because they haven't been led down a path that they can actually sustain.
You're right.
Right. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like going to the gym 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, and you haven't done it before. Not focusing on the things that really matter, like recovering as hard as you work out.
Yeah.
Fueling your body appropriately for how you work out. And then taking care of your body based on the workouts that you're doing, which could be a simple foam roll or simple stretching or something like that. But what happens and keeps you and I in business is the all or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
Right. So what we try to do is set them on that path of, in that consultation process of, hey, this is where you are. We want to find something that's just beyond your capability. And then this is the type of journey that we're going to be on for the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, however long, to get you to a point to where it's sustainable and you can do it on your own.
Right.
Right. So, but that tends to be the best prescription for the vast majority of people,
Right.
because you have ego lifting and stuff like that, which then I have to refer them out to you or your team to fix them. And then you see everything that they've tried to do. And then, like you said before, it's like, okay, I can fix you, but it's only going to last so long.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep. It's that rinse and repeat with those kind of people.
Right.
So and again, it goes back to the mentality of the all or nothing, that we're trying to break that habit, right? That's what you said, like building that foundation and creating this expectations and these plans within like your programs and what you do for consultation for people will prevent people from having those kind of reactions to working out, even if they haven't worked out ever before, right? Or maybe they're new to working out, or maybe they're new to working out this way, right? They're used to boot camps or, those kind of HIIT workouts, those high intensity things that maybe their body doesn't need right now.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of workouts do you enjoy?
You should know, you program them.
Oh, come on.
So I hate cardio.
Okay.
Hate it with a passion.
Okay.
But so I do love to lift weights. And when you talk about ego lifting, there are times that I want to lift heavy.
See, everyone is guilty of it. Everyone is guilty of it.
Yeah.
Even yours truly.
Yes.
So, but in that aspect, when someone comes into you, I think one of the reasons you and I have such a good friendship, good business partnership, and we collaborate well together is because we see things, not just movement wise and things like that. We see progressive things very similarly. So when someone comes into the gym, we try to walk them down this path, like I said before. Talk about like when someone comes into you, walking them down that path of like getting them from broken to functional. And then self-care.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody comes into me with, let's use rotator cuff injury, for example, right? I literally have to break it all the way back down to the basics, right? And we have to find what repetitive pattern that they're doing over and over and over again that's creating this issue. Because if we don't correct that, it's going to keep happening. And so yes, I'm doing the soft tissue work and I'm releasing muscles and I'm getting joints moving better. But at the end of the day, if I don't open their eyes to that pattern and that issue or that repetitive moment or movement that they're doing, they're not going to improve. They're going to keep coming back on my table, right? So oftentimes it's doing the soft tissue, but then we build on that. We build better patterns. There's oftentimes that I refer to you for exercises for those people so that they can build a stronger posterior shoulder or whatever it is that I've noticed within the body work that I'm doing that they need to improve on. And then showing them how to move correctly. Because a lot of people, myself included, right, don't always move correctly or safe, or we are compensating constantly without even being aware of how we're moving. And then there are people that are completely oblivious to their body. They're not connected to it. And so they don't relate to movements. They don't even pay attention to them. So it's creating awareness. It's creating new patterns. And oftentimes what I'll tell people is like, hey, do you cross your legs when you sit? Maybe that's why you've got this hip issue. Maybe that's why this hip is really weak because it's constantly on a stretch.
Right.
Or maybe they're always looking one direction at their computer and bringing that awareness to them. So then they're like, wow, Melinda, you're right. So now I've started, trying to sit straight or maybe turning my chair instead of turning my neck when I look at my computer. And it's just bringing awareness to people's bodies and their movement and their repetitive patterns so that they can be less, in less pain and need me less.
Do you see that? Do you see that quite often where people just don't they're just not aware of either body movements or aware of the things that they're doing in their daily life that are causing that issue? Is that
99% of the people that I see? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because people are just, people are just unaware, or maybe they don't understand. Maybe that's it. Maybe they don't understand how muscles react and how the body reacts. I mean, honestly, I'm going to geek out.
Well, we know that's a fact because it's not their job.
It's not.
It's your job. It's my job, right?
Yeah.
But what's one of the what's like a tip of that you could give to people on that aspect of just being aware, right? So like, obviously people, they fidget in their seat. Mm-hmm. It could be out of nervousness. It could be out of discomfort. Mm-hmm. They like that, like some kind of like exhale kind of reset kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it before, like these things that people can do to almost give them like little resets throughout the day. Mm-hmm. I'll let you geek out a little bit, but I want to kind of like provide some value mm-hmm. to people as we move forward, both what they can do as far as like stretching, movements, things like that, even at their desk at work or something like that. And then we can talk about like what things would look like in the gym or at home for them. Yeah.
Well, honestly, this kind of translates easily between the two, between working or being, at home or at mm-hmm. work or with your family and also in the gym, is just your body. Okay, here's where I'm geeking out. Our body is an amazing machine. It literally operates on its own without us even having to think about it, right? It's constantly thinking of compensations or ways to avoid pain or to avoid discomfort. Your body never wants to be uncomfortable. And yet, it often gives us pain signals that we ignore. Right. So the first thing that we have to do is listen to our body when it speaks. So if it's giving us pain signals, whatever that is, pay attention to it, because what it is that you're doing is creating that pain and it needs to be redirected somehow or another, right? So for instance, if we're lifting in the gym and we're doing a squat and the first squat pinches in the hip or hurts in the back, or we get a spasm somewhere, fucking stop, right? Yeah. Your body is giving you the signals to not move through that pain. And yet, this all or nothing mentality is, I can push through it, right?
Well, but there may not be someone there that they can rely on to go to help them out, right?
Sure.
So in that instance, if it doesn't feel right, or there is a pinch, or there is a feeling in the back, neck, shoulder, whatever it is, mm-hmm. right? A little like, give me your professional opinion on what they should do before they continue.
Okay. Other than stop.
I mean, they might not be an option to stop, but they may not. They also may not have accessibility to a coach on the floor like they do in our gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. They may be at Planet Fitness.
Yep.
Plug for Planet Fitness. But they may be at another gym, mm-hmm. right? And there just aren't professionals on the floor that they can rely on to give them the right direction or even movement pattern or coaching or anything like that. So what could they do? Mm-hmm. Like a very simple thing. What could they do? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, this is coming from your side. I know what I would tell them to do.
Yeah. Well, what's that?
Well, I would have them modify the squat to a body weight or something lighter to where they do not have
the sensation,
that sensation, whatever it is. But there are other things that are in your realm that they could do, priming and warming up
100%
before they start their workout.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Those are the kind of things where I think people can have value in, instead of saying, oh, I only have 30 minutes to get this workout in. I'm going to go in, I'm going to skip my warm up. I'm going to get on the bike for 2 minutes. I'm going to go right into my squats. And then you have these sensations and then maybe you just ignore them.
Right. Yes.
But if their workout is squats and then 2 or 3 other exercises, the way we coach our people and our trainers are, your first 2 exercises is the main thing that you're doing that day. Mm-hmm. Right. That is the thing that's going to get the biggest response from the central nervous system. If the next exercise is going to be the next exercise that takes the response that you just sent it from the central nervous system, and you're going to build off of that. Everything else after that is accessory. Is it important? Sure. but it's not the main thing. Right.
Yep.
So if you're in a time crunch and things like that, not warming up the proper way, not priming your body the proper way, and then just jumping into the workout because you're limited on time because you want to get your whole workout in is the wrong mindset and approach.
Absolutely.
It should be warm up and prime, right? Get your first 2 exercises in.
Yep.
If there's time left, finish it out. If there's not any time left, who cares? You already got the main part of the workout in.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So it's just like that.
Yes.
That would be the biggest thing I would say in that aspect that someone can take away from it is if you're short on time or this, the most important thing is get that warm up in, get that priming in, get your first 2 exercises in that you know is going to make the biggest difference for that day. And actually, you might actually find out that skipping out on those other 2, 3, 4 accessory exercises, you feel better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, if you don't know muscles like I do, right? Or you don't know how bodies move, right?
And I'm a trainer. She's really good.
Oh, thank you. That I don't expect you to understand like, oh, we work antagonist or you stretch this or, you engage that, right? I don't expect you to know any of those things. So it's just important to, yes, warm up. Absolutely. And everybody's go-to when they're feeling pain is let me stretch it really quick, right? If stretching, let's say you go ahead and you do the movement, it pinches, you stretch, you try the movement again, it pinches again, then try to contract it. Maybe try to work it, but like you said, modify it, right? But maybe you don't know how to modify it. So then seek professional help.
Right.
Go talk to a trainer on the floor. Go, talk to your therapist, your massage therapist. Maybe they don't know either, but
Well, I mean, anyone who has, I think most people these days do some type of recovery,
I
something,
hope so.
whether they go to a salon or whether they go to a massage therapist or whether they do chiropractic or whether they go to a functional medicine doctor or you have your own doctor or something like that. I guarantee you 99.9% of the people that are breathing have access to someone that can point them in the right direction if they just ask.
I hope so. I do.
Okay. Let's see. So when a client comes to you and you try to get them to buy in and visualize the journey that they're on to get into feeling better, moving better, sleeping better, like things like that. How do you paint that picture for them over a progressive time? I know it's very individualized.
It is extremely individualized.
But there is kind of a system of like, these are the types of things, and if it doesn't apply to that person, we kind of pull those out.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, absolutely. It's the bare bones of it. When I talk to somebody who's new to our practice or new to the recovery side of things, is you pay attention to your body, give me feedback on what.
Explain that a little bit though. Pay attention to your body.
Yeah,
because that's very subjective for the individual.
It is.
Right.
It is.
So if you can explain, if not, then I might be able to help. Right. We talk about biofeedback markers.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's just, let's do an example, right? Okay. So somebody who, let's go back to the all or nothing mentality, and the person that's coming in from not working out forever, and they decide to hit the gym really hard, and then they get really sore, and then they come in and see me because their shoulder is not moving properly, right? Or it's pinching or whatnot. Then the recovery process of it all is, number one, we're going to have to pay attention to those pain and to that pain, when it shows up, how often it shows up, what makes it worse, what makes it better, right? And then we're going to work with you. We're going to work the soft tissue like we know how to do. And then you're going to leave and you're going to go back to working out or doing whatever. And you are going to pay attention to what movements hurt, what movements make it better, what flares it up, what doesn't flare it up. And then you're going to come back to us in roughly about 2 weeks.
Is this a mental
most
note,
people.
or would you like them to write it down, journal it, something like that?
Oh God, if they could write it down and journal it, that would be amazing. Most people won't take the time to do that.
Right.
So it's, as long as they're being aware and making mental note of it, that's great. Right.
Yeah.
Then it's come back. We work on it again. We try to create some healthier habits around moving, and maybe even give you then feedback on, hey, this person probably shouldn't be doing overhead pressing right now. Maybe we should strengthen the posterior shoulder. Maybe we should work some more back exercises, things like that. Or maybe their lat isn't firing, whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
And then you work with them. You give me feedback. They give me feedback. Like, the more information I have about what's working, what's not working, when you feel the pain, how you feel the pain, is it numb? Is it sharp? Is it dull? All of these feedbacks that you can give me will then help me paint a picture as to how long this process may take, and then how good you are about doing your homework at home and your recovery and your therapy and all of that jazz. The last thing that I want people to do is to stop moving. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people will do is my shoulder hurts, so I'm not going to work it anymore.
Well, it goes into our checklist that we're going to do kind of like as the like what you can do after you hear this, right?
Right.
We'll get to that, but it's very similar, very similar process when you come into the gym and you have someone, you do the consultation, you find out what their background is, you find out what their goals are. You do a movement assessment, you find out what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, and then you're finding a spot to start with that person. And I'll use an example of someone who squats really well but has shoulder issues. So just because they can back squat or front squat and do all these advanced lifts doesn't mean they can barbell shoulder press, right? And I think a lot of people get sold into that, oh, if I can do this, I can do this, right? But you might have someone who back squats 400 pounds that is also isometrically holding a dumbbell overhead of 5 pounds just to build stability while they're going through this progression of fixing their body, right?
Yeah.
An all or nothing person would be like, oh, I used to be able to shoulder press 165, 200 pounds, so I'm going to start out at 135 pounds. Even though I know I have this bad shoulder, right? So taking that person and saying, hey, if you want to continue to do these things, the recommendation is we can still back squat and we can do all the things that you love to do, but we're going to have to start here and slowly progress you up to where you want to be. Yeah. What does that look like? Well, everyone's different, right? It all depends on, do we have setbacks? Are there advancements? And then the coach's job is to progress you in the right manner so that we're not going too fast. There's going to be times where you want to ego lift a little bit and say, hey, I'm feeling really good today. Those are the worst days to push it. Yeah. Right? The 9 times out of 10, if someone's not feeling their best, they're a little lower in energy and we're just trying to get movement in, I just want to get them started. And then as we're going through the thing, I'm like, you know what? We're going to try this today. And then they're not expecting it. So there's no ego involved. And then all of a sudden they're able to do something they didn't think they were able to do. Right. Because the mindset is.
It's that breakthrough moment for them.
Exactly.
It's the win.
But when we're laying out that in that consultation process after their movement assessment, and the way that works with us, and I think you know this pretty well, is we do a movement assessment to see where they are. And then once they decide to work with us, the next 2 or 3 sessions, or even 4, depending on the person, is really finding out what they can and can't do in a workout environment, how they recover, how sore do they get. Because if we do something and they're really, really sore, then we want to make sure that we dial it back a little bit. Yeah. And if we do something and they don't feel anything at all, then we know we can dial it up a little bit. And then once we get a good idea of what that looks like, we can then put together a program for them.
Exactly.
Right? Then that program is constantly what the app that we use is putting in your results. That's not just how much weight you lifted, which a lot of people just put that in.
Guilty.
Guilty, yes. But it's also a spot in there for you to say, on bench press, I did this. This is how I felt, that type of thing. Or I felt great today. I feel like I could go up next week. And then the next week, it's like, I didn't feel as good if everything felt heavy this week. That's going to happen. And people just need to know the mindset of that is you're not the same even that you were yesterday, that you are today,
right?
Especially last week or last year or 10 years ago, right? So just know that you're taking that journey and you're using those biofeedback markers on how you're feeling that day, what your energy's like, how strong you feel, things like that, to dictate how you progress forward in your workout day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If not, then you will always have to hit this spot where you plateau. And then nothing's worse to see someone take 6, 7 steps forward and then take 6, 7, 8 steps back because they did too much too quickly.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's a great question that I have for you.
Okay.
What are some guaranteed failures that people do that you see as a pattern in
guaranteed failures in progression or guaranteed failures just in general?
In general, in the gym.
Well, I mean, it goes right back to our biofeedback markers. It goes back to the number one failure is people just don't take time to recover. And that would be getting enough sleep. And then the ones who get enough sleep, they underfuel their body because they forget that if you're an adult and you're a professional, or even if you're not an adult and you have any kind of responsibilities outside of school or anything like that, or your work or anything like that, you have to fuel your body to be mentally ready to perform. If you're an athlete, you have to fuel it to be physically ready to perform. You also have to keep it challenged so that it's sharp or strong, right? So as you're going through that, you're like, okay, if you're fueling, are you recovering? The recovery aspect is eat enough calories to fuel the performance that you need, whether it's mental or physical, and then almost 2 times your recovery. You want to work just as hard or get as much sleep, the proper wind down routine, the proper wake up routine and things like that to set yourself up for success. Yeah. Right. The biggest one, nutrition, everyone hangs their hat on nutrition. It's like, oh, my nutrition's, it's not the best, but it's not that bad. But then I'm like, okay, then how do you sleep? And it's like, oh, I go to bed at midnight. I wake up at 4 and then I get up at 6, and you have this inconsistent sleep pattern. Or you're up on your devices, or you're watching movies, or you're doing all these things to stimulate your mind late at night. When you should be looking forward to winding down and going to sleep and getting rest so that you can mentally and physically perform at your best the next day. Absolutely. Right. So, you can pick nutrition or you can pick sleep, but they both actually rely on each other. If you're doing everything on nutrition that you should be doing and you're not seeing results, I'm going to challenge you that your sleep is off. Yeah. Right? Yeah. If your sleep is off, it's going to affect the choices that you make or don't make with your nutrition. Absolutely. Right? So they're interchangeable to some extent, but to me personally, what I've seen over the years, and this is my opinion, and this is what I've seen, this is my, through application, the people who struggle the most struggle with sleep. Yeah. And then the people who really struggle with sleep really struggle with making the right choices with nutrition. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's the number one thing. Yeah. And what they also don't understand is that if they're trying to get stronger in the gym, or if they're trying to advance in some type of learning, like they're trying to get to the next level in their job, or they're trying to learn something new or something like that, it's even harder when we're not getting enough sleep at night, because your mind is just not ready to take in more information yet, because it's not ready. It's not primed and ready to go. Yeah. Right. So that would be the biggest thing.
God, I've got to share my aha moment.
I'm afraid.
I know. So it's on that because, I've worked out with you for 13 years or something.
Something like that.
And I have always been somewhat consistent. I've always worked out. And so this was, I don't know how many years ago, but I was consistent in the gym. I was coming in all the time and we started doing in-body scans and my numbers looked fine, but it didn't matter how consistent I was in the gym. It didn't matter how on I was on my diet. My numbers didn't change. Right. They stayed the same, remember? Mm-hmm. And finally one day I was like, and you kept telling me, you're like, you're not eating enough. And I had all the excuses.
There'll be some eye rolls around when they hear this. I'm like, oh my God, this is his favorite line.
So I had all the excuses. I'm like, I work too much. I don't have enough time to eat, And you said, and so finally I was like, all right, you know what? Fine, I'll do it your way. Tell me what I need to do. And you wrote out all my macros and you were like, okay, I need you to hit, and this was like 1,400 calories. I was only maybe hitting 1,000 calories at the time.
Yeah.
And you were like, I need you to hit 1,400 calories every day. Mm-hmm. And you said, and I need, your words, consistent compliance. And it was almost like mic drop moment for me. I was like, that asshole literally just challenged me to be consistent. And I am freaking consistent. But I took that on as like a challenge.
Right.
And so you said 4 weeks. And I was like, okay. So I increased my calories to 1,400 calories for 4 weeks. And I was consistent in the gym. And I was consistent with my diet. And at 4 weeks, you were like, how do you feel? And I'm like, I feel good. I feel hungry. And you said, okay.
Getting really hungry.
You said, okay, increase your calories another 200 calories. I'm like, what the hell? So I increased it another 200 calories. And 4 weeks later, you're like, how do you feel? I'm like, I'm fucking starving. You're like, okay, let's increase it again. And we just kept doing it. I kept following your protocol. I kept feeling stronger. I was sleeping better. I was recovering better. I felt better than I've ever felt. I got up to 2,700 calories.
Fairly recently, 2,700 calories. Yeah.
And then I started shedding weight because, don't get me wrong, I gained some weight, but I was getting stronger. Like I ignored, when we did those in-body scans, I ignored the weight. And I only concentrated on muscle mass.
Your skeletal muscle mass.
Yeah. As long as that was increasing, I was happy eating my calories. I was eating everything. I was eating food. It was fantastic. So 2,700 calories, eating good, whole, healthy food. And then I started leaning out. And it was all because you challenged me to be fucking consistent, right? And all of a sudden I was feeling better. I was moving better. I was stronger. I was sleeping better. I wasn't as stressed out. And so it's like you said, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent with your food and nutrition. And that does feed into sleeping, and sleeping feeds into nutrition. It's just been a beautiful thing. So when Jamie says eat more calories, he means it. It works.
Well, we can, and the thing is that we can always adjust.
Yeah.
Right? We can always adjust, but we also don't want to adjust too quickly because we have, with you, it was probably every month or so.
Yeah.
Right? It was about every 4 to 6 weeks. I kind of like give you a direction. We see each other at least 3 times a week, sometimes more. And then you look at, it's a constant like feedback loop of like, how are you feeling? Do you feel like you're getting stronger? Do we need to change up your workout a little bit? Are you getting bored with these things? What a lot of people don't understand is that the more you do something and the more you put reps into something and it's the same thing over and over again, that's when you see the biggest adaptations, whether it's mental or physical or whatever. You just have to put in the reps, right? But we also don't want it to be boring or get monotonous, because when you're trying to achieve a certain level of fitness, achieve a certain strength goal, achieve a certain, I'll even say aesthetic, there has to be, you have to put in the reps in order to get there. And if you don't put in the reps to get there, you're not going to fully buy in and understand how the process goes.
Sure.
I would say, and I've heard this before, but if as a trainer or a coach or a nutritionist or even for what you do, if you get 70% compliance from your people, you've won.
Yeah.
I mean, I would even say, even if you get more than 50% compliance, people are going to feel generally good,
Yep.
be generally strong, look generally the way they want to look. We're human beings. We're always going to nitpick little things about us, like, whatever it is. But generally, you're going to be healthier, stronger, in a better space than the vast majority of the people that you're going to run into on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
That aren't doing those things.
Right.
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 So
a little bit can go a long way.
Consistent compliance.
Consistent compliance.
You heard it. Consistent compliance. Everybody. All right. That's what we need. Consistent compliance. Just make sure you have the right trainer and coach telling you the things to be consistent and compliant
about. Yes, absolutely.
Let's stick on that topic of 2,700 calories as a female.
Yeah, let's. And by the way, that did not happen overnight.
No. That was over the course of probably, I would say, if I had to venture a guess, probably 14 to 16 months.
I was going to say it was over a year. Yeah.
Yeah. It was close to a year and a half.
And we just increased by like 250 calories at a time. Like we didn't make, well, okay, I ain't gonna lie, I love to eat. So there were some times I went above that, but
it was 200. The goal is somewhere between, and everyone's different. If someone's really, really struggling with weight and things like that, it's going to be a slower process of putting food, like adding calories to them.
Yeah.
And that's going to be more like 100, 150 calories per person. And then you have someone, if you have a male that's really trying to put on size, we will go 250 to 500 calorie surpluses to get them to where they want to be. But we also have to look at how do they feel?
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're increasing calories like that and your body's not used to it, you have overfeeding, you have water retention, you have digestive
GI issues.
And the best thing with GI issues is that if you feel gassy or if you feel bloated or if your bowel movements change from normal to hard and clumpy or liquidy or liquid, not even just loose, but just liquid, like that is the number one surefire thing that something's going on in your nutrition that is negative.
Yeah.
Right. And it could be just too many calories for you at one time.
Sure.
So it also could be too much fats. It could be not enough fiber or things like that. But we don't want to get in the weeds on that aspect of it. What we really want to talk about is getting your calories to an appropriate level so that when you do cut your calories, your maintenance is at a spot where it's not hard for you to maintain the caloric intake. The protein is not a chore to get to. And that you pretty much perform and look the way you would like to look year round.
Yeah.
Now to get there, it's a job.
Yeah, but people also overcomplicate it. And it doesn't have to be so complicated.
You're right. I mean, you're right. You look at having too many options or trying to progress too quickly.
Yeah.
And then wanting it faster.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. It could be anything, whether it's postpartum and wanting to get back into the gym, or whether it's a wedding date that you're trying to hit or an event that you're trying to hit or something like that. Those dates are set. But where you are and where those dates are not necessarily going to line up.
Right. Yeah.
But one of the things that we do is we try to work on the mental mindset of getting stronger first, hitting certain protein goals and nutrition and caloric intake, and then checking in and making sure that we are feeling strong and that we're feeling energetic and that we're doing all of these other things. 9 times out of 10 with the people that I've worked with have not hit their necessarily aesthetic goals for those dates, but they're super happy with the work that they put in.
Right.
And are super happy with how they look when that comes. Now, I have some people that just crush and knock out of the park because they will white knuckle it and bear down and eat the same thing every single day because they want to look a certain way on that day.
Yeah, they'll do what it takes.
But I will say this, those people tend to fall off.
It's
or just fall off the cliff for weeks, months, or even a year.
Right, because that's not maintainable.
And because they had such a bad experience. Did they get the goals that they wanted to at that particular time? Absolutely. But the process they went through was not sustainable. It was more work, and it did more of a negative toll on their journey.
Yeah. It goes back to the all or nothing mentality.
Because these people white knuckle it, and they can be in that, what we call that pain cave or discomfort and stuff like that for a very long period of time until it just breaks. And that breaking point is usually that day. It's kind of like it's kind of like Christmas. When you're a kid, you just wait until Christmas, and you have this great day at Christmas, and all of a sudden there's this big letdown the next day.
Christmas is over.
Like, there's this big letdown.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like you get there, you have this great energy, this great time because you looked and you got to where you want to be. But then what?
Yeah.
Now you got to go back. And if you don't get back to it as soon as possible, or if you don't have the right coach, or you don't have the right person or spouse or anyone to kind of encourage you to continue doing what you're doing or learn how to do it where you're not white knuckling it, then you'll have these people that just fall off for, like I said, weeks, months, even years.
Yep.
Right? Because it was even though they got there, it was such a traumatic experience mentally for them that they just don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
So. But
I feel that. I feel that very much.
But the reason I brought up the 2,700 calories as a female is because when most people hear that a female is eating 2,700 calories, they're like, that can't be. Especially with someone like you, where you're not overweight.
Right.
Right. You have a strong build. You walk with a confidence.
Oh, thank you.
Your body fat percentage isn't super, super low. You're not trying to be a bodybuilder, but it's also not high.
Right.
And a lot of people might be like, how can she eat 2,700 calories and still stay somewhat lean and still stay strong and do her job?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk about, how hard is it for someone like you to continue to eat anywhere from 22 to 2,500 calories? Because that's, just so everyone knows, that's how we got up to 2,700, almost like maybe even 2,900 at one point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was a little bit hard to continue to do. Eating healthy.
Right.
Eating healthy.
Eating healthy. Clean.
I mean, her and I can throw down 3,000 calories of junk food just like anyone else. But eating clean, 2,700 to 2,900 calories for anyone it's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of, and you don't have to track all the time, but you have to know how much food it is and what you're trying to accomplish. And that's what a good coach is for. That's someone that you can lean back on when you have those doubts or whatever, when you're going through that process. But we've seen it in our gym where people are like, oh my God, she's eating how much? And I'm like, what were you, 22% body fat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Which is exactly where we want women to be for good hormone function, overall health, and things like that. Muscle mass is about 47% of your body weight, I believe,
or more.
Or close to 50%.
Yeah.
Right. Which is exactly where we want people to be. So tell us a little bit about the challenge there.
Yeah. The challenge, the challenge for me at first was getting out of the excuses of I don't have time to eat and I don't have time to meal prep or I don't have time to do grocery shop.
Saying that, I'm going to cut you off real quick.
Do.
Because the reason I'm cutting her off right here is because she does 5 and 6 or 7 hour and a half massage sessions 3 to 5 times a week. So she legitimately has very little time.
Yeah, like 15 minutes between clients.
Whereas sometimes when I say I'm busy, I still have 2-3 hours in the middle of the day where I don't really have a lot going on. And to me, I'm busy because I'm busy moving. She's literally packed on her schedule.
Yeah.
So she legitimately has an excuse that she is too busy to do these things, but somehow was able to figure out how to get in the proper nutrients, caloric intake, and things like that for her to meet her goals.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it all comes down to preparation, right? Because I don't have that time. And I wanted to get rid of the excuses. I wanted to get rid of that whole, I don't have time to eat, I can't eat enough bullshit. And so I used to intermittent fast. I cannot do that.
Right.
And eat that kind of calories. So I eat a good hearty breakfast. I mean, it's over 1,000 calories usually. And then my lunch, I make sure it is caloric packed, like protein packed lunch. And it's simple. And then dinner, again, same thing. Heavy, calorically packed, like hits all my macros. But I have to plan. And I have to think ahead. And the thing is, stop overcomplicating. I used to come to you and Trevor and go, like, this is hard. Like, how do I do this? And you're like, stop overthinking it. This much meat, this many carbs, this many vegetables. Like, make it simple. And so
the other thing we talked about is not you had a tendency to make these meals that were very complex.
Oh God, yeah. Like,
right?
Yes.
They were very complex, and I'm like
making my own homemade
really
dressings.
Exactly. So just keep it simple.
Stupid simple. Chicken, rice, and vegetables, right? Beef, rice, and vegetables, like steak, sweet potato, vegetable. Like, it does not have to be fancy. And you actually don't get sick of it because there are many ways to make it versatile, right?
Right.
And so it was finding and planning and stop the fucking excuses. Just stop it. Because I'm only hurting myself,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. And that's a great example. It's just making sure that you. And if you don't know how to plan it, and if you don't know how to prep it and all those things, there are ways to get around that.
Absolutely.
There are meals that you can order online. There are coaches that you can reach out to. It might cost you some money to get the right plan for you. It could be a one-time thing. It could be an ongoing coaching type thing. But there are a lot of things out there that are accessible to you
Yeah.
to be able to stay on track.
100%.
And it doesn't. And if whether you're in the Concord area, Charlotte area or anything like that, we do remote coaching kind of stuff. If you need recommendations, or just don't follow Instagram influencer.
Don't follow TikTok.
But so, with that being said, just this leads right into some takeaways.
Yeah.
Right.
Our checklist.
Like our checklist for today. Like the big thing is we want to get 2-3 minimum resistance training or strength training sessions a week.
Yeah.
Right. 2, if you have a busy schedule and you don't know how you're going to fit it in. I have new clients that I brought on. It's a husband, wife. I've worked with them in the past, and it was one of those things where they didn't find value in, if they couldn't come 3 to 4 times a week, they felt like they weren't doing anything.
Oh.
Now they're coming twice a week, and they feel like it's perfect. It's perfect for their schedule. It's perfect for their routine. The workouts that we're doing with them are perfect for energy, feel like they're getting stronger and things like that. Is the progression slower than what they probably want? Maybe. Is it the right progression for where they are in life? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was hey, in March, I want to do this because I want to be able to go ski and I don't feel strong. And I'm like, okay, I was like, we'll see where we can get you by March, but we're not going to skip steps. Yeah. And then as we went through this process, we focused on the things that would help them feel strong on the slopes. Or if something happened where they felt they could get up easy and not have to struggle or ask for help, and they wouldn't feel like a burden to someone around them, right? Just focusing on little things like that. So the first one is whether it's Octane Fitness or another gym in the area, resistance training over high intense cardio and stuff like that, especially if you're starting out, would be two times a week minimum, 3 times if it fits in your schedule.
Yeah.
The second one would be move 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. If you're already doing that, doing more should only be done if you enjoy it. It shouldn't
Amen.
be a task just because you get 10,000 steps in and you feel like you need to do more, to try to fit in another 2, 3, 4, 5,000 steps, because your body's going to adapt to it very quickly. And the results you get from it are going to be fleeting. And then you're going to find yourself wanting to do more. And then you'll be up at 20,000 steps, and then you'll be creating other issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can go into that on another time. And then the next thing is, which could be number one, but I wanted to kind of go down like this checklist kind of thing, right? The easy stuff is this. The easy stuff is this. The next thing is getting protein at every meal.
Yeah.
And prioritize getting protein at every meal. And eat your protein first before you eat anything else. And that, in general, as long as you're getting your protein, even if you don't hit your caloric needs yet, getting your body used to eating that protein, being able to digest that protein, you can always add that other stuff in later and get your calories up. But the hardest part is prioritizing getting the right amount of protein, getting it all in before you eat the other stuff. Because I've said this before, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I will not tell anyone not to eat something.
Right. Yeah.
Right. If you want to have Pop-Tarts, that's fine. Make sure you hit 35, 40 grams of protein in that meal before you have Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Why? Because you might eat one Pop-Tart as opposed to 2, or you might eat one packet of Pop-Tarts as opposed to 3, because you're not going to be that hungry anymore.
After you eat your protein.
I can sit and eat a whole thing of Pop-Tarts if I don't have any protein or fats or anything like that. And the calorie difference is tremendous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then the next thing is going to be the hard stuff. The hard stuff is the stuff it's what swings the needle. And that's your sleep.
Yep. Recovery.
You're waiting for it, right?
I was.
It's your sleep. I mean, your sleep is it's your battery recharge.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a Tesla, you can't just run it and not plug it in at night, because it won't be ready to go the next day.
Yeah.
It's no different. I mean, you've got to recharge that battery.
Can we also talk about that sleep doesn't have to mean that you have to go to bed at 8 p.m. and wake up at 6 or whatever. You know, if your lifestyle is you go to bed at midnight, just make sure that what you're sleeping is good quality sleep for 7 to 8 hours, right?
Yes.
It has to fit your life, and it has to be something that you can do on a regular basis. If you're a night owl, there's nothing wrong with that. Just plan accordingly.
We're going to get down to, I don't want to get down too deep here, but on that part of it, I don't disagree with that. But I will say, if you're a night owl, try to pick a consistent time.
Yes.
That you go to bed, and try to pick a consistent time that you wake up on those days.
Create a good, healthy pattern.
It's crucial to have that good, healthy pattern.
Yes.
The other thing with that is, if you are going to bed late at night, those people tend to be distracted up until the time they go to bed.
Yeah.
So having an appropriate wind down routine, I like the 3-2-1 method. It doesn't work for everyone, but 3 hours before you go to bed, don't have any food. 2 hours before you go to bed, don't have any water. 1 hour before you go to bed, dim the lights, put technology
no screen.
away. Yeah. Like put the technology away, turn the TV off, dim the lights down. You'll be surprised when you're not distracted. It won't take an hour for you to go to sleep. Like you'll fall asleep pretty quickly.
Yep.
It may be out of boredom, but
you're to sleep.
Still going to
okay.
go to sleep. You're still going to go to sleep, right? And then the next thing is going to be your total calories for the day, right? When we work with people, we don't really care about that in the initial setup of getting someone started, because it's at the beginning, it's insignificant.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to get you to eat more, but if we can't get you to eat the right foods first, then it's insignificant. It's insignificant.
Yeah, it's all about creating healthy patterns and healthy.
All about creating healthy patterns
habits.
and understanding, as you would say, the method to the madness, or trusting the process and things like that. And a lot of reasons people don't understand the method to the madness. Either they don't ask questions, or the coach that they're working with isn't explaining it to where they can understand it. And then trusting the process is hard, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right. Yeah.
right? So if you don't know that this process is going to get you to a good point, then there's a good chance that there's going to be these times where you question the process and the journey if that coach hasn't laid out to you and said, hey, this is what you're going to experience here. I need you to hang on during that, get through that point in time, reach out to me. We make adjustments. We talk about what's coming up and then moving you forward. Because if you stop 9 times out of 10, right when people stop is right when they were just getting ready to get some results or break through a plateau.
Yep.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Was there anything else that we had on that checklist that we wanted to add?
Let's see.
Those are the main points. Those are the main points.
Move consistently, move healthy, eat, recover. That's it. I mean, that's as simple as it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Move, sleep, recover, and eat healthy. Boils it down.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you like what we're talking about, and if you would like to reach out to us, my name is Jamie Fuller at Octane Fitness in Concord, North Carolina. And this is
Melinda Stewart with Healing Connections, also in Concord, North Carolina.
And we also have a great collaboration of partners in the area of functional medicine doctors, recovery facilities, physical therapists,
chiropractors, nutritionists.
Exactly. I mean, we haven't covered everything yet, but we're getting ready. We're working on that.
Yeah, we're gearing it up.
The last thing I wanted to put on here is that we have an event coming up.
We do. So exciting.
We have a name. It's called the Concord Collective. Our first event is going to be June 20th at the Kimball Walker Sports Complex here in Concord, North Carolina. We are looking for vendors.
Health and wellness vendors and experts of all ages.
And speakers. Yeah. We're looking to get a functional medicine speaker, a women's hormone speaker, some type of nutritionist.
Yep. Motivational speaker.
I can get a motivational speaker.
I said you?
No, I am not a motivational speaker. But that's coming up soon, and we're really excited about it. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of brain power for the Concord Collective.
We just want to be able to provide the community to open their eyes to all the health and wellness that Concord has to offer, the alternative health, the ways to live a healthy lifestyle, and stay active. And this is all ages. This is kids to your grandparents. So come out June 20th.
June 20th, 10 to 2.
Yep.
Right? And any vendors, they can reach out to us. I'm not sure you'll hear this in time, but you'll hear it in time. We'll clip this out and we'll make this like a little promo spot for you guys.
Yeah.
But outside of that, if you, again, Octane Fitness, octanefitness.net or octanefitness.fit. I got to know my own website address. And then Healing Connections. We have, like I said, we have so many great partners. It would be great. It would be great for you guys to reach out to us, even check out our facility, and see how we can help you.
Yeah.
That's it for today.
It's a wrap.